Welcome to the Gospel According to podcast, the first and only podcast looking at the intersection of pop culture and the Christian faith. I'm Dan Ulrich, joined as always by my co-host. You may know him as the one with the adult onset anacardiaceae allergy. It's Dave Hallahan. Did you know that's called that you have?
That's what I
like. What you're allergic to?
Pistachios and cashews.
Yes, but also in this, which I don't know if you've tried, in this same culture is mango. Have you found yourself allergic to mango?
Interesting.
Those three are the same biological anacardiaceae. Anacardiaceae.
Yeah. No, I haven't had like just straight natural mango. I've had mango flavored things with no reaction. And I wonder if that means they're not naturally flavored, or if that just hasn't caught up to me yet for some reason.
But I would be curious to see, because as I was looking, you guys are entering into the conversation, but Dave is now allergic to cashews and pistachios.
Yes, it was, as you mentioned, adult onset. I've eaten like peanuts and nut family things my whole life. I'm a salty over sweet guy, so love salty treats.
In more ways than one.
Hey, and so I picked up a bag of pistachios one day at work, and all of a sudden I'm like scratching my head, and I'm like, did I not like wash my hair the other day? Like, why am I so itchy? I'm gross. I need to go home and take a shower, finish up what I'm doing. I'm driving home, and like my hands are like tingly, and like I'm losing sensation in them, and I'm like, this can't be good. And I'm like, wait, this is definitely an allergic reaction. And I just took some Benadryl, and I was fine. But I was like, all right, I'll stay away from pistachios now. And then like several months later, cashews did the same thing to me. And they're just one by one, I'm losing them. So, and I don't want to push it. Like nut allergies can be serious. So I'm not trying to have like my throat close up. So,
but yeah, as I looked it up for the show, mango is in the same biological family, the name that I can't pronounce very well.
Yeah.
Very long. So the listeners want you to try mango and report back.
I'll tell you what, we get 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I will live eat some mango and let you know if I die or not.
Have your EpiPen next to you.
But Dan, thank you for bringing that up, because now I know that you care and you listen when I speak.
But this is not the gospel according to adult onset allergies. It's not the gospel according to tree nuts. What are we talking about today?
It's the gospel according to fast food.
That's right, Dave. And I think we need to start off the pod by the basis of, what do you consider to be fast food?
Part of me feels like you know it when you see it. We shouldn't have to define this. But I mean, I think it's certainly like counter service, right? Fryers, grills, drive-through. If it has a drive-through, counter service, and you get your food within a couple minutes of ordering, I guess that, like, do you have a better working definition for?
Well, I think
food?
There's maybe a gray line or a line here between there's
like the fast casual.
So there's
like Chipotle,
Panera Bread, Five Guys. Where would you categorize those three?
I think you're exploiting a fault in my own logic here, because I want to say Five Guys is fast food, but I don't know if that's just because they have like burgers and fries, and that's more what I'm thinking about.
Five Guys famous for their burgers and
fries. In fact, whereas I would say Chipotle and Panera are not fast food; they would be fast casual. But I could see Five Guys falling into the same category.
Interesting, because Five Guys no drive-through, Panera Chipotle drive-through.
Wow. Yeah.
I would consider none of them fast food.
Yeah, I think for sake of this conversation, none of them should be considered fast food. I agree.
They're a little level above that. They take a little bit longer. The food maybe a little bit better. I mean, Panera, at least their bread they're cooking. Everything else is coming out of a plastic bag.
Right.
But but yeah, I would consider those things to be fast casual, different category, a little upscale, a little pricier, maybe a little more real food, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Uh,
The gospel according to fast casual restaurants will be
y-
only for our
y-
patrons. So
yeah, so make sure you sign up.
yes.
Have you ever worked in the fast food industry?
I have not worked in the fast food industry. I feel like a lot of people, their first job is like McDonald's. My brother, actually, both of my brothers, I think, worked at McDonald's. I've never worked. I've worked in the food industry, the restaurant industry, but never fast food. I was a salad bar attendant at Ruby Tuesday. That doesn't exist anymore. Actually, every restaurant I've worked for has closed.
I thought you worked
So
at
I was
Salad
kind of,
Works.
oh, I did work at Salad Works. We see, I meant from the top. I said, you pay attention. You pay attention better than I do when I talk and to my own life. Yes. Well, is Salad Works fast food or is that
I
fast
would
casual?
I would say no, it's not
Yeah,
fast food.
it's not fast food.
It's
That's the
like
closest though. How about you? Have you ever worked in the fast food industry?
yes, I think I brought up before that my high school, I had 3 different jobs in high school that after soccer season ended in the winter months, I was like, "Oh, I should do something to make money." So I would get a job, before Christmas, November-ish, and then I would keep said job through the end of the school year, and then once summer camp started up, VBSs, missions trips, family vacations, I would say, "Oh, I need the summer off." Tell them I'd be back. Maybe I had inclinations that I was going to be back, but would not. And then the next year, I would start a different job. So my first job was selling CD cases at a kiosk in the mall,
Okay, nice, nice.
which doesn't exist for multiple reasons.
Yes.
Malls dying, CDs not really being a form of thing, or people not needing to have 120 CDs
Right.
in one. And then the next year, I worked at Taco Bell.
Mm,
And my last year, I worked at a shoe store. So, yes, I worked at Taco Bell for, I don't know, 6 months or so.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I worked in Taco Bell. I never had any of the horror stories of, terrible things happening at Taco Bell in Blackwood, New Jersey. Other than, that everything comes in a bag and then is rehydrated or
Right.
or whatever. Uh
Would you hook your friends up when they would come and eat, or were you by the
probably
book?
probably. I mean, so we had a coworker of mine that got me the job, friend of the pod, has been mentioned. I don't know some of the stories I'll tell, if he wants his name, he probably doesn't care. Um, but he would definitely hook us up because he had been there. He worked there for like 4 years or something. So he had a little more seniority. I was not motivated to learn how to do the job.
Mm,
And
yes,
usually
yes.
the hours I worked were busy, and so they would, have me in there and be like, "All right, you're on the register," and I'd be like, "You never trained me to do the register," or like, "You're gonna go be, one of the line assemblers of the tacos." I'm like, I was never trained to do that, which was all true. And so I spent most of my days collecting the money at the
Mm.
drive-through and handing out the food, which is very simple to do. Or, I scrubbed pots or mopped and swept the floor out there, but I was never actually trained how to use the register or how to make tacos. So
So what exactly were you trained to do? To collect hand money to someone who knows what to
yes,
do with it
I was
and to
like the
hand food?
expediter. I
Yes,
was the
yeah,
in between the people making the
right.
food and handing it out through the drive-through
Hey,
or handing it to
an
yeah,
important cog in the
it's got
machine.
the
Yeah.
food's gotta get from one place to the
Yes.
other, and then,
Yeah.
I'd help do all the cleaning up, wipe the tables down, and things like that, but,
Yeah.
yeah. Nothing scary ever happened. A friend of the pod, Scott, if somebody, was a jerk through the drive-through or whatever, or a lot of listening to a lot of white suburban people try to pronounce very easy sounding Spanish
Quesadilla?
names. Can I have one of those Grando taco combos? But Scott would, if you made him mad, He wouldn't spit in your food. He wouldn't do anything disgusting. He would just take his index finger, and crack your hard shell taco.
Mm,
So if you ever in Blackwood, New Jersey, got a hard shell taco that was
mm,
cracked in half, you probably made Scott Lederer mad through
probably.
the drive-through.
Scott also got me my job at Ruby Tuesday.
What a guy!
What a
And let you
guy.
borrow his car
Yep.
to take the driving test.
What a guy.
Uh, he should be on the pod. Scott, if you're listening, reach out. Tell us something that you want to talk about.
We got you.
So, Dave, what is your relationship to fast food? Are you a connoisseur? Do you only like certain places? Are you like, as a youth pastor, ready down to clown and eat at any time?
Yeah, I mean I definitely like have my moments. Later in life, food starts to affect you differently. And so I have backed off of fast food a little bit, but there are times, especially Taco Bell is still very much my
Mm,
weakness. Like I can only go so long without it before I'm just like, yeah, like that's what I'm having for lunch today. I don't care. Um, but like growing up, I have distinct memories of being at McDonald's, getting the Happy Meal, playing
right.
out on the playground. And so, uh, really growing up, like fast food, I don't remember it being in our lives a ton, but I remember that, like McDonald's,
Hmm.
playing on the playground. But I think it was like a treat. It was like a rare thing
Yeah.
that we got to do. So, but then, yeah, growing up, I mean, all throughout college and high school, you're driving around, you have your freedom with your driver's license now, right? You're hanging out with your friends. And so I would go, and all of them, I like all of them. They've all got something to offer. I am very like East Coast though. Like
Mm.
I haven't had a lot of like uh Whataburger, In and Out. Like I haven't had any of those before.
Mail us some Jack in the Box, In and Out
Yes,
animal style fries. We'll try them on air
there you
uh,
go.
for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, say with me, I like it all. Dave, I've never smoked.
Oh,
I've never
okay.
done any hard drugs. Never really had an issue with alcohol, but easily could become addicted to fast
Mm,
food,
mm.
and probably have been at some points in my life, as
Yeah.
far as the craving or the looking to, have something to eat that's not good for you, but you want it, and then you feel terrible afterwards,
Yeah.
coming home and then having to eat real dinner later.
Mm, mm.
When you ate too much lunch, and then you're
Yeah.
like, my wife listens to the podcast, but so don't tell her. Now
Oh,
I'm better with that, but there's been times when you eat a big lunch, and then you come home and you don't really want to eat dinner, but don't want to tell her that you ate a big lunch.
right,
So
right,
you
right. You ever
gotta
finish
motivate her.
your fast food in the driveway before you go in, so you don't have to share with
Probably.
anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You gotta share it, and they gotta crumple it, throw it in the outside trash can.
Right,
Yeah.
outside trash can right there. Boop. Yep. Nobody. None the wiser. None the wiser. I'll go scarf down some spaghetti and meatballs on top of this Taco Bell. Nobody will know.
Oh, your bowels are gonna know. So the reason why we're bringing this up is because we've been hounded, quite
I
frankly.
Yes, it's impossible.
It's been hard to go out of the house.
Uh huh.
We're at the drive-through. The people are going, "Hey, are you down to drive? Are you?" And they just want to know, Dave, what is the gospel according to fast food?
Mm. So I think the gospel according to fast food is a false gospel.
Okay.
And I think the gospel according to fast food is about convenience. It's about immediate satisfaction, that if I want something, I should have access to it right away. I shouldn't have to
Hmm.
wait for it. I shouldn't have to work for it. It shouldn't be inconvenient. It shouldn't be too expensive. It should be at the ready. And I think that fast food, like Taco Bell, I love Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever, like that food, it does sometimes I have legitimate craving for it. And like I eat it and I'm like, yes, like this was the thing that I wanted. But one, no matter what you eat, you're always going to be hungry again later. But there's something less fulfilling about it, that it's a short fix that it's hitting. And back in my youth pastor heyday, Leah and I, we there's a C.S. Lewis quote that you might be familiar with. I think it's from Mere Christianity, but he talks about how as Christians, the problem is not that it's too hard for us to be satisfied. It's that it's too easy for us to be satisfied. And
Mm,
the analogy that he uses is, um, you know, like a child offered a holiday at sea, we'd rather play in the sandbox. And like, it's just that the child is too easily satisfied. That a sandbox, this is fun. Well, I can't even think of what you would mean by a holiday at sea. Well, we like reworked that analogy, and we said that like we are, I think we actually used mozzarella sticks as our example, but
mm.
like I'll just eat some mozzarella sticks when what is on offer from God is like a fillet and lobster tail. And it's like, well, I just need it. I need to move quick. So I'll just grab these mozzarella sticks. So I think that is the false gospel that's presented, is it's here, it's ready, just take it and keep going, rather than the gospel of Jesus, which invites us to sit down at a full meal that will satisfy us longer term, but is harder work to get to. You have to be a little bit more patient. So that's the gospel according to fast food.
Yeah, I came up with similar to that is a false gospel that says everything needs to happen at once. Like you said, the immediacy of I'm hungry, feed me, whatever's fastest, I'm going to eat. And, disregarding if it's the best for me health wise, if it's the
Right.
best tasting, if, like you said, the most fulfilling way, or even not even just in the food standpoint, but in the like fellowship standpoint. A lot of times, as a family, if we're picking up fast food, we're eating it in the car to go and do something. And so there's not the face to face
Right.
talking, enjoying each other's. It's a quicker just means to ending my hunger.
Yeah.
And as our Christian faith, I think sometimes we are sucked into that same type of feeling of an event, that we're looking for an event, that we want to go to a retreat, a conference, a one-time thing where this is going to change my life, that this is going to I'm going to be put on the right track, that this my culmination of my Christian experience is going to happen in this one moment, versus the faith journey that we're called to with Jesus Christ is a pick up your cross daily,
Hmm.
is transformation as a long process of becoming more and more like Christ. It's that, yes, we're saved in an instant when we, cry out, call on the name of the Lord. We repent. We experience that transformation in that moment of being sons and daughters of Christ, of accepting the salvation. But from that point on, the rest of our life isn't as instantaneous of a thing, that there's
Right.
this process rather than just a singular event. There's the waiting on the Lord aspect of drawing near to Him. This whole idea that Christ gives us and the New Testament gives us a seed time and harvest of that we're planning into our life.
Yeah, no, that's good. I thought of, I think it's in Galatians, Paul says to do not grow weary of doing what is good. Um, for in due season you will
Mm,
reap what you sow. And I think we don't want to wait for the due season. We just want it right now. Like, I did the right thing, where's my reward, where's my satisfaction? When often doing the right thing is it's a process, and you'll see the results eventually, but you might not see it right now. And similar to fast food, I know, just like eating in my own house, like I often choose convenience over what is best for me. My spiritual life is the same. We've joked about my stack of books, but like some of why I like to read is because I think is not a good thing. It's because I think it's a shortcut. Like, if I can just replace experience with God with knowledge about God, then
mm,
that will do the same thing. But like the experience, I would have to take time with God and meditation and prayer, and it's a much slower process. It doesn't feel like, oh, I can't, if I spend 10 minutes in silent prayer every morning, that I bet would have a big impact on my life over long term. But
right.
when I look back at my day, I'm like, well, I spent 10 minutes doing nothing. Whereas if I
Mm,
read a chapter, I'm like, boom, there's 15 pages that I read. That's a thing that I did
it's
today.
tangible.
It's tangible, yeah. But I think that slow growth is actually better and healthier for us than that like immediate quick fix.
You heard it here first, folks. Reading's bad. But it's insane to think 100, 100 years ago, much less hundreds, thousands of years ago, but 100 years ago for someone to say, okay, you are going to receive a specific thing you ordered that has bread, meat,
Right.
cheese, fresh vegetables in it, and you're going to get it within, a minute and 30 seconds, and you're going to be angry that it took you
Yes.
that extra 30 seconds to get that meal is insane.
Yeah.
Like anybody else was like, oh, well, you had to butcher the cow and then you had to process the meat and then you had to make sure it was refrigerated and then, start a fire to cook. You had to milk the cow and then, process the meat and to make it into cheese and plant the vegetables and then go out and harvest them. And they had to be fresh and come and cut them and make, harvest the grain and then crush the grain and then allow the bread to rise and bake it. And like, no, in a minute, I want this
Right.
cheeseburger, just
Yeah.
consume it. And it's like that disconnect from where our food's coming from the process that it's taking to do those things, and just I think the harmful mentality that we then carry over into the rest of our lives where we can't wait anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy just to think those things and how slowing down, how taking those times, like you're saying, to pray, taking those times to be away from even technology. We think of
Mm.
as we grew up, the internet becoming a newer thing. Once Al Gore invented it, then we had the internet, but it was a dial-up internet. So literally, pages would load. We'd have to sit there waiting for a page, and now it's like if it's not instantaneously that I type something in and the world of the internet gives me this knowledge that I would have had to follow a smart person around or heaven forbid read a book to know this knowledge before. If it doesn't instantaneously come into my face, then I am aggravated
Yeah.
about that, and just the rush that this puts in our lives, talking about driving, talking about now fast food and things, just this quickness that we just want everything in. And I think it hurts our souls, it hurts our faith of wanting this things in those ways and being conditioned to think that we should have it.
I think part of this fast food culture is going back to and even a spacious life with Ashley Hales. We had her on hustle culture. Like I think hustle culture and fast food culture are kind of intertwined
Yeah,
because
for sure.
fast food allows me to get more stuff done. I don't have to make dinner. I don't have to sit down and plan meals. I can just go grab it. I can eat it in the car on my way to my kids' practice or to play or to the next business meeting that I have or whatever. And so I think the two are very much intertwined. And there's an obvious convenience factor, but I think we don't often think about what we lose when we gain through that convenience.
Yeah, good. So yeah, if you want to go back and listen to that, we kind of get more into that whole idea that our identity isn't found in how many things we get done each day. Uh, but are you ready for the Bible breakdown, Dave?
Am I?
And here comes the breakdown.
Dave, are you
Whoo!
are you familiar with the Daniel fast?
Vaguely, yes.
All right, that'll make it
Tell me,
better. All right.
tell me more.
So this comes from Daniel 10:3. It says, "I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled." And
All
so
right.
kind of
21 days of veggies.
based on, Daniel in the Bible, and we read that with Nebuchadnezzar that he kind of tested him. He didn't want to
Mhm.
eat the food of the king, the kingdom, and he said his way would be better, following the Lord would be better. And then after these days, he was healthier than those that ate the king's food. And so people always looking for a weight loss plan.
Yes,
always
yes.
looking for that. And if we can spiritualize anything, even better. So there's the Daniel fast that people have done, and no doubt have connected with God and connected with their food better. And so the Daniel fast limits food choices, vegetables, and water, as stated in the book of Daniel. It requires you abstain from meat, fish, egg, dairy products, chocolates, ice cream, sugar, sweets, wine, or any alcoholic beverages. So, Dave, do you think that you can have the Daniel fast while eating fast food?
uh, no,
Tell me what
probably
you would
not.
tell me what you would order.
Wendy's has salads. McDonald's has salads. You can get salads from
McDonald's does
places.
not have salads anymore. You need to up your
Oh,
fast
I
food
do.
game.
It's been a while. Wendy's has salads.
There's also something else from Wendy's that you can get.
Well, I was gonna say, do we have veggie burgers at fast food or like black bean burgers? I bet there are fast food places that have those. A Burger
Probably.
King did the Beyond Meat burger for a little bit, so you
Mm.
get that with no bun, I guess, lettuce and tomato, and
Y-
that's
At
about it.
Wendy's, you could also get the baked potato.
Ah, yes,
Mhm.
yes. So can I have fries too then?
As long as um, well, they couldn't be fried in uh something
What,
that was like an
what if
animal
they're
product.
in vegetable oil?
I don't know. I think that would be pushing it. But maybe. Starbucks has a lentils and vegetable protein bowl with brown rice that you would be able to eat.
Oh well, I'm glad I'm not allowed to have Panera, but you can have Starbucks. That's
It's
not
not.
fast food.
It's you don't think so?
It's not really. No, it's a. It's not. It's a whole new category.
How about a Subway? Do you think you could do the Daniel fast 21 days? No meat,
Um,
no pleasant bread.
no pleasant bread. Just give me that crappy bread. Um, I don't think so. Like, I guess I could theoretically do it. I don't think it would be spiritually beneficial for me to do it though. I think I would be unpleasant, more unpleasant than the bread I'd be eating. If I did that. I think like fasting, the Daniel fast, any whatever kind of fast, or even like if you want to do like diet stuff, that's fine. Uh, but I do think it quickly becomes another thing for us to do. Like we
Right.
just talked about, like what can I achieve? What can I produce? Look, I made 21 days without, and like
Yeah.
if that's the point of why you're doing it, then it's probably not the best reason. I don't think that's why Daniel did it. So
Yeah. And so the whole kind of like, I'm going to do it and then I'm going to be more spiritual afterwards because I did this physical thing. Uh, and I think that's the whole hard part with fasts is so many times we approach it with the wrong motivation.
right.
That we approach it, well, oh, it's Lent. I'm not going to eat fried food and I hope I lose some weight. Not like,
Right.
oh, I hope I connect with God more. I hope that
Yeah.
by fasting for 30 hours, that frees me up, that I don't have to plan and cook food and eat food, that I can just spend that time in prayer. Like, oftentimes we go into it with wrong motivations, I believe. Dave, you want to play a game?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. This is Will It Preach?
It's been a while.
Food. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Fast food slogan edition.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
So these catchphrases can make you want to buy fast food, but can they deliver spiritual nourishment? So I'm going to ask you, Dave, will it preach?
Let's get it. Let's
All right.
go.
So a little side part to this is I'm going to
Okay.
give you the fast food slogan
Uh-huh.
and see if you
I gotta
can
tell you
tell me
the
what
okay.
restaurant it comes from,
Okay.
and then tell me how you would preach this, or if it's going to be a Sunday school, if it's going to be a sermon series, a one-off men's retreat, a youth group tie-in, things like that. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. First one. Have you had your break today?
Have you had your break today? Is that how that goes? I don't know. But that was McDonald's, right?
That was McDonald's.
Once upon a time.
But the real
Uh,
question is, will it preach, Dave?
I'm gonna say that this will preach. This is going to be maybe I'll say it's youth group, like devotional thought kind of
Okay.
thing. Have you had your break today? Uh, and kind of the youth group classic, talking about your need for quiet time and being
Mm,
God's word and prayer. And you can even talk about what we've talked about today, like the fast paced nature of life. And you're going from school to after school programs to work to cleaning your room to doing your homework to running around, blah, blah, blah. Have you had your break today? Have you had a moment to take a break and rest before God and just be in his presence?
mm, good. Now we'll preach. Next one, Live Mas.
This was Taco Bell.
This was Taco Bell.
Okay, all right, good. Live Mas. Yes, I would say that this will preach. This could be. Uh, I think this is an Easter sermon. Live
Oh,
Mas. It's about the resurrection and the new life. And you know, you could kind of, I want to like talk about YOLO, but how that's not true for Christians, right? We
okay.
live Moss, and how we have a second chance at life, that our old selves are gone and the new life has come. So we get to live Moss.
And that, after Palm Sunday, we have Holy Tuesday. You could have Holy Taco Tuesday, you
Yes,
know,
exactly.
Live Moss tie in.
Yes.
Good. No, that's great. Next, where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Oh,
Where's the
man.
beef?
Oh, is that Wendy's? That's what's in my head.
Yes, this is
Okay.
Wendy's became a cultural phenomenon. The little old ladies looking at uh,
Yes, yes.
the burgers from other competitors and wondering why there's so much bun, but where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Then
Yes,
Wendy's
yes.
famously has the square patties, and so there's more area space in a square than a circle is
Right.
the thinking.
Where's the beef? Will it preach? I'm going to say this will preach. And I'm going to say this is a men's retreat message because, one, like beef, meat, men, her, yeah. But also, it's going to be like harsh and challenging in tone. And
Mm,
whenever you talk to men, you have to tell them what they're doing wrong.
yeah.
Um, so Paul talks about how when I was a child, I thought like a child, but now I put childish things away. Uh, and maybe in the same place, but maybe somewhere else. He also talks about how like you start off on milk, but then you have to
Right.
move on to the finer things. And so I'm going to challenge these men to stop drinking spiritual milk, and it's time to step up and chew on some spiritual meat and get serious about your faith.
Where's the beef? And then we'll do chest pumps afterwards
Yeah.
and make a big fire.
Yes.
No, that was great. I'm gonna tuck that in my back pocket
All right. I like it.
for a men's retreat coming up. All right, next one. I think this was a little harder. I don't know if you're gonna know this one. The slogan is "You gotta eat."
I've mentioned before, I believe it's Miller Lite, who for a while was like drinkability was like their like slogan. It's like you gotta eat, and like we have stuff that you can eat here, so why don't you come on in? I don't know who this is from. I'm gonna go with Jack in the Box.
This is Checkers or Rallies,
Checkers.
depending on what part of the country you live in.
Okay, remember Checkers? Yeah, I do.
You gotta
Um,
eat.
yeah, you gotta eat. This is gonna be a message from John chapter 5 ish, 5, 6. It's in there somewhere. But he, Jesus is the he that I'm talking about. Talks about his body being the, he's the bread of life, and uh, that if you want to have eternal life, that you must eat of his body and drink of his blood. And it's kind of weird and off-putting to the people who hear it, but Jesus is essentially saying, "You got to eat." So, uh, yeah, that's where I'm going to go with that.
All right, so communion message.
It's a communion message, yes.
All right,
And
last one.
instead of like voluntary communion, it's mandatory communion.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you
you
can't
have
pass.
to
You
do
have to. You
this. Yeah. So we have our ushers in the back, and they're going to be making sure
have to.
everyone comes
Yes.
forward. All right, last one. Freaky fast delivery.
Uh,
One of our friends married into this empire.
Oh, wow. That is not necessary. Freaky fast delivery.
Right.
I don't know, but a pizza place is what's coming to mind. Is that
No,
not it? No.
it's a
What
sandwich
is it?
shop.
Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy This is Jimmy John's?
So
They have the
this slogan came under fire in the court, both
Mm.
court of public opinion and actual courtrooms, after drivers for Jimmy John's were involved in speed-related accidents that resulted in serious injuries, lawsuits, and financial settlements.
Oopsies.
We are
Oops.
so fast. We're gonna get the sandwich to you
Yeah.
so fast, and the workers there are like, "I gotta go."
Yeah. Will it preach freaky fast delivery? Um, I mean, I want to say no, that it won't.
It's okay.
uh,
You can have
yeah,
one
I
no
get
per
one
show.
no per round, right? This one, well, there's something like I feel like it's just too much of a stretch or like not theologically accurate. But I want to be like, you pray the prayer of salvation and freaky fast delivery. Here's the spirit.
Right.
So I'm just gonna say no. I'm not using this one.
All right, last up, we kind of teased it in the beginning. We didn't go too much into our favorites, but we are going to have a fast food item draft. And so this is a specific item. It's not a combo order. It's a specific item from a specific fast food menu. And we'll go back and forth. So this is based on us living in Northeast United States.
Right. All right. All right. Then I'm going with the GOAT, the best fast food item that there is, the cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell.
Man, had it on the list.
That's number one for me, for sure.
All right. I'm going to go with the Big Mac.
Okay, classic. I'm gonna go burger for my number two as well. And I'm going with the heart attack on a bun. I'm going with the Baconator from Wendy's.
True story. First time I ate a Baconator, this was in college maybe, I felt my heart hurt. I finished eating it and I felt heart palpitations or just a heaviness in my chest.
No, I love it. That's what it's there for. You gotta like get it down with a couple of those, just jumpstart the heart in between bites.
Right.
That's how you know it's good.
Okay. Next I'm going to go a little hot take here.
Okay.
Former sponsor of the pod.
Okay.
Friends of the pod.
Yes.
Give me a PDQ chicken tender
with
some garlic dip.
The garlic dip. Okay.
Yes.
I actually haven't gone the garlic dip, so I might have to give that a go.
You're missing out.
Well, then I guess I'm going to go the chicken sandwich route, and I'm going to declare my favorite chicken sandwich. I'm going with Popeye's chicken sandwich, and I'm going the spicy.
Okay.
The spicy sauce. So
yes, agreed. Popeye's chicken sandwich is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Man, that was on my board too. You just knocking them out.
I'm actually looking at your list. I didn't make one. So
yeah, I have 8 too. They just happen to be the same exact one. All right, so I have my chicken, I have my burger, but I think the fast food dessert GOAT. Give me the Wendy's Frosty.
Yeah. Oh, and what flavor are you going with? Vanilla?
No, you got to go chocolate.
You go chocolate. I'm vanilla.
Oh, you can have it. But then they change out the vanilla. Like summer, they have strawberry, so you can't be getting.
Yeah, you don't always get the vanilla. It makes me sad. All right, so you've got your dessert. I've got the cheesy gordita crunch, the Baconator, and then the Popeye's chicken sandwich. I do need a side item here. So I'm gonna go with maybe this is pretty basic, I think, but Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Oh, coming for my list, Dave. I shouldn't have let you go first. All right, next one, I'm going to have to ask for a clarification here to see if this is considered fast food for you. But I want, for my fourth pick, I want an Annie Ann's pretzel.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. So, I mean, it is fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the drive-through. It's more, mall food court or rest stop type food. But
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Give me one of them salty, buttery pretzels.
Yeah. All right. That's good. All right. So I'm down to my last pick. I've got a few up here. Um, eh, I try to be good sometimes with my fast food. This is just an honorable mention. But the thing that I order most at Chick-fil-A is actually their grilled chicken club, not even their breaded sandwich.
Yeah.
So that,
I'm
that
not a
one's really
member, so I can't. I'm not part of the club.
I am. But yeah, their grilled chicken sandwich is pretty good. Um, McDonald's fries are classic. The classic Chick-fil-A sandwich, all good. But I'm actually going back to Taco Bell,
Oh no.
and I'm going to get a quesadilla because their
Oh,
quesadilla, the sauce, what sauce is on there?
I
Oh,
was never trained in making the quesadillas.
right. So you wouldn't know. But I begin and end my draft with Taco Bell, and I'm ending
Yeah,
with the quesadilla.
that was a reach. He would have went undrafted. You could have picked him up
I
off the
I
wafers.
agree, but I needed him to know he was chosen.
I wish I got a fry in there. I mean, I think yes, most of the time you get the reliable McDonald's fries, but I think overall they're a little overrated.
I agree.
Give me like an Arby's curly fry. Give me a Popeyes like Cajun fry uh
Mhm.
over that.
Yeah.
Um but with my last pick, I'm going to go for overall value here.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
going to get multiple things in one, but it's still one item.
Okay.
Came out was a little sensationalized when it came out, but it has stood the test of time over this past decade. Give me the KFC Famous Bowl.
Oh.
Mashed potatoes you're getting, you're healthy, you're eating some corn, you're getting the chicken, popcorn chicken, a little cheese on it.
Yeah.
There, slide it all down your gullet.
Yes.
And eat
Good
that.
good choice there. So here's the question that I had for you.
Okay.
Uh have you heard like this thing that McDonald's Sprite is better than everywhere else?
Yes, it's spicy.
Is this a joke? Like is this just something people got together tried to convince me of or
No.
do you buy it? Are you like the
Well,
Sprite there is different, better?
there before the Sprite thing became something, like it was always the Coca-Cola. And so with fountain drinks, they mix their own syrup.
Right.
And so the thing was like they kept the
The tap
water
open?
the the water a little colder, and it
Okay.
was maybe a little extra syrupy
Right,
that would
right.
make their fountain drinks, especially their Coca-Cola, and I guess now the same thing with their Sprite, that maybe there's a little extra syrup in it that
Okay.
that adds to it. So I believe it.
Okay. I'm I'm a denier. I'm a McDonald's Sprite denier. It's the same. And you people just heard about it on the internet and now you're bought in and you'll believe it. But it's
So
all
you
just
believe
happening in your head.
glass bottle, aluminum can, plastic bottle, fountain drink, you think they all taste exactly the same?
Wake up, sheeple. It's soda. Okay. I'm not doing this today. No, I to answer your question specifically, no, I do think it's different, but I think fountain to fountain, it's the same thing. Fountain soda tastes the same as fountain soda.
All right. So next
Uh,
time we see each other, I'm going to bring you 4 different Sprites.
blind taste test Sprite, and I'll nail it because I'll be
You'll have
like,
to ski.
this is a Sprite. This is also Sprite, and this one, yes, also Sprite because they all taste the same.
This one's spicier. Um, what's your go-to fountain drink?
Uh, well, nowadays because I can in most places, I go Coke Zero.
Yes.
Uh, that's the bop.
Mhm.
If I'm doing Taco Bell, I'm obviously giving into some of my baser desires and wants. So I'll also just get Mountain Dew. But I'm also like hot take. I'm anti Baja Blast. I don't like Baja
Ooh.
Blast. Yeah, I know as a youth pastor, it should be coursing through my veins, but
Wow.
I don't like the Baja Blast. It's like brushing your teeth, and like that's why I don't. I love Mountain Dew, but I don't want to be brushing my teeth with it, and that's what it
You don't
Baja
have to.
Blast.
You just have to drink it, Dave.
That's what it tastes like. Toothpaste mixed with Mountain Dew is what Baja
But
Blast
they
tastes
have Baja Blast Zero now.
like. With zero minty flavor, or no?
Yeah. Give me if I'm being good, Coke Zero, but give me a
Yes.
Dr. Pepper
I would
fountain drink.
Dr. Pepper is like, so Mountain Dew at the Pepsi restaurants, but if I'm gonna have fizzy sugar water, Dr. Pepper is probably the way that I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, Dave, for indulging us. I'm gonna go uh, hit the drive-through.
I'm gonna convince my wife to get fast food today. Yes.
Thank you all for joining the Gospel According to. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms that exist or have ever existed. Instagram, we need to get that up to 1,000 so that Dave does something. I've already forgotten it.
I'm gonna try mango and see if I have an
Oh yeah,
allergic
see
reaction.
if you have an allergic reaction. See if it sends you an anaphylactic shock. So we just need 100 more people for this to happen. I think we're at a little over 900 now. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. They're not just for posting your food. They're for following us. We have giveaways. We have ways for you to interact with us, get little bonus things. Thank you for sharing the gospel according to with your family, with your friends, and the guy taking your order at the drive-through window. If he says, "Will that complete your order?" Just say, "No, I need you to listen to this great podcast first."
Yes, I order you to listen to
Right.
this great
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. And it will be your pleasure to do so.
Yes. You can also send us mailbag questions on any of those socials or by emailing tgatpod@gmail.com. We are also open late, even we're great, even late. We're open late. So you can come through the drive-through and ask us a question if you need to do that. And do your part in obeying the Great Commission by helping us spread the gospel according to podcast. And one great way to do that is leaving a 5-star rating and review. It's way faster than filling out the survey on the back of your receipt. You may not win $1,000, but you will gain heavenly rewards. And it happens real quick. And if you do it, we'll read it, like this one that we got from Cobra Kai, titled "The New Dan and Dave!" exclamation point. I think he's outing our secret that we're clones. That from volume 1 was actually 2 different guys.
No,
And
I think
we
he's
have
referencing the Olympians, Dave.
Oh yes, the new Dan and Dave from
We are
the
not
Olympic
robots.
Dan and Dave. These guys are not these guys not only are swag to the max, they pwn all the little groms at the camp in hoop. Respect! Exclamation point. Hashtag old men can't jump. But we don't have to, because we just run the pick and roll,
Yeah. And the more fast food, the less we're jumping. Let's be honest.
It's true. It is very true. Well, thank you, Cobra Kai, for that 5-star rating and review, helping us reach new audiences and getting us to 1,000 followers on Instagram so that I can potentially die on Instagram Live. Be sure to leave your own review, and you can hear it here next week on your favorite Hump Day podcast. This was the Gospel According to Fast Food.
Fast food.
No indent.
Fast food.
And Dan?
Oh, your bells are going to know. You heard it here first, folks. Reading's bad. As we grew up, the internet becoming a newer thing, once Al Gore invented it.
And whenever you talk to men, you have to tell them what they're doing wrong.
So we have our ushers in the back, and they're going to be making sure everyone comes forward.
You pray the prayer of salvation and freaky fast delivery. Here's the spirit.